We also saw George Russell having a moment. Here is Carl Sainz. Looking from a microsector standpoint. Oscar's going to be a mover here, so he's 7 tenths away as Oscar goes up into the top 5, a 1:19.7. With 31 minutes remaining in first practice. He's 10 at the moment, as we said, and goes to position 3 with that 1:19.687. Lived up to everything you thought it would be if you've come to experience Formula One for the first time, and what an experience. Flying in Formula One is the focus, then of course it's all about Sunday.
2022.
We talked about famous teams and teams that have got so much heritage. Often you'll see them in both F2 and F3 where you're talking in this class of racing. Trevor Carlin, for example, who's been around and helped foster, helped develop so many young talents.
Of a second back to O'Sullivan, who was quickest earlier today. Bortoletto, Saucy and Fornaroli is your top five. Remember, this sets your grid for Sunday's feature race. If you're 12th right now, which has been an over 2 start from the pole, the sprint race tomorrow. Those people we just sit in the top of Kinley, King, to roll out onto the track and now
fans that have come from far and wide, many from your hometown over there in South Australia, Matt. Hugely popular category. Supercars, touring car racing, and particularly all those people that worked back in Elizabeth in the days working on the old car plants. Okay, so we've got a bit of an update for you. We're taking it back. We're taking it way back. Back in the day, we used to start a race with a national flag. The drop of the flag signaled the start of the race. We will not be using the Formula One gantry, or we are using it. So we'll be doing the signing lap first, but we'll be talking about a national flag start, which is, well, quite fitting. Here we're celebrating 70 years of racing at Albert Park.
Taking back to the steady truck days, we've got the national flag.
Because he had a crash in practice and that car did not qualify, so has been able to earn one grid spot back. He swapped sides with Todd Hazelwood. Of course, Tim drove for that team 3 car last year. So lining up 25 cars on the grid. This is race 4 of the championship, race 2 of the weekend.
That was the best lap I've seen in ages. Absolutely, and they're all vying to get that pit allocation space as well. They want to get ahead of their respective teammates. Brown goes, no, I'm out. I'm going here. It's safer to go here and get through.
Until we go time certain on this one. Let's watch the replay, the ball coming back into the pits. Just trying to pull it up, and that's what can happen when you're trying to make sure you are inside the speed limits.
Davis.
Crunch the numbers again. So puts himself inside the top 5. 5 minutes into this session as Lewis Hamilton now moves up to the top 6. Just giving you a heads up on that one. So we didn't do, remember?
Copy that. Yeah, good information, thank you.
Fundamentally showed that on the approach to turn 6, the Ferrari was good, and in the final Leclerc was good there, but everywhere else it was green. Green for Alonso, green for Aston Martin, wasn't it?
So soft compound tyre for Carlos Sainz, and that will mean green, most likely out on track, probably this lap. So we'll look at how he completes this first sector. So you can see his time they put up there before was on a medium compound tyre, on the soft compound now, bringing it up to speed. It's not on the pace, and that's what we're having a look at the micro sectors. So again, bringing it. I was half expecting you to break into song there with Rain, Go.
More or less, and then a bit of wind to pick up so that we have maybe the final 15 minutes. But look at this here. So George Russell, we heard him on the radio there a moment ago, out on inters there before and straight back in. So.
it just gets worse and worse. You saw them hardly staying on the road in that final section as they're losing all that temperature, and then the tyres just they're just skewed across the road. It's pointless.
Well, track temperature is now down to 23.5, so we've lost a couple of degrees off the beginning of this session, and we're already 5 or 6 down, so we're getting close to 10 degrees lower than what we had in practice part 1. The main reason for that, well, stick out on the surface.
And the forecast, of course, for tomorrow and I think for Sunday is much better, isn't it? So
Exactly. So it really is. It's limited returns going out there in these conditions. What can happen? You can't really learn anything. What can happen that's bad? You could crash the car. You could end up with all sorts of problems basically.
I guess we're at least overseeing the people that make the calls and probably making the deciding call when necessary.
yeah, there was a bit of chatter around the paddock there today too, maybe on the Official F1 website about a conversation, discussions that he did have apparently with Dan Ricardo over the drive maybe for 2023. So we're sort of looking at that story still, aren't
It
they?
would have been a reunion with Enstone, of course, but Otmar Safnauer wasn't there when Ricardo was there. But I interviewed Otmar Safnauer in Austin last year. I said, look, Otmar, amazing. Every time you go to a team, they move into the top 4 in the championship. What's the secret? What do you do to whip the team into shape? And he said, I think I just show up at the right time, and I'm just a good luck charm. I don't do anything. I just show up and suddenly we're top 4.
That's a very humble response, isn't it? Absolutely. Before comes back. 27.5 minutes remaining, or just under that in fact. The clock keeps counting despite the weather.
This is a really good shot for people that are new to the sport and wonder, what do we mean by intermediate tyre? Why don't they just run on the same set of tyres? And there's a slick tyre, there's a full wet tyre, and there's an intermediate. The intermediate is basically, I guess you'd say, for want of a better term, half the tread depth. It's a challenge when you've only got a short pit lane.
Yeah, and it's also a very narrow pit lane, so they've got not got a lot of real estate to play with. And a lot of the Grand Prix here down the years have been won with favourable strategy, taking advantage of a virtual safety car or a safety car. You'll probably be aware this historically, before they changed the track in 2022, this is a very, very tough track on which to overtake. In 2017, we only had 2 on-track passes in the entire race, so it's been a very tough track. The organisers have changed it.
That'd be feedback, wouldn't it? So about these conditions.
Yeah, Max Verstappen absolutely thrilled by this drizzle, I'm sure, absolutely thrilled. But yeah, this track was very difficult to rotate. The corporation took it into their hands. We've got to make changes. It's the only thing that we haven't got here. We've got everything else. We've got the rock and roll owner, we've got the fans, we've got the reputation. But we just need the overtaking. So they changed the track for 2022. We saw more passing in that 2022 race. I think it was 27.
This morning at Paddington, look at this. I just had a colleague message me from Turn 11 as well, a automotive industry colleague, something in Copper Rain there. So
You can see when you're on the run down to turn 4 or straight.
the initial talk was we might get it sort of right at the end of the hour, up to closer to 5 p.m. Here we go, driver's perspective. There you go, that tells the story from inside the cockpit. You're right into the Oscar Piastri. To consider here, of course, is that we gathered all that data in practice session number 1. We were going to accumulate some more here in session 2. It's been interrupted. It's not necessarily of course, for what we know so
That soft compound running really helps now for FP1, I guess. You know, then, the oversteer on the exit, turn 13, showing just how treacherous it is to drive in Again, sure, we have to talk to a lot of first-time fans that come here and look at this going, change gear, and those lights are a critical component of that. You don't want short shoes, slow.
Yeah, absolutely. It used to be a case of we had an old-fashioned dashboard on a Formula 1 car, and then in 1997 Ferrari said, hey, hang on a minute, we could save space if we put it on the steering wheel, because the steering wheel is detachable, so that gives us a little bit more room with the rest of the design. And then they started to put the whole lot on the steering wheel, lights, LCD displays, switches, everything. I mean, it's incredible. It's one of the most well-engineered parts of a Formula 1 car, and it's always customized to the driver. Use the other driver's steering wheel on mistake, for instance. But the way to switch position, So they had to remove the steering wheel as the lights are getting ready to go out for the formation lap. They put another steering wheel on it. The switches were all in different positions. So when he started the race, he
Let's watch great play here with Lance Stroll. Good visibility there. That's put your foot down and he's lucky to get away with that. Acceleration down and just snapping on acceleration. So lives to fight another day, does Lance Stroll.
There comes from this end at times. This is one of those moments where close up to the cars, but this is one of those moments when I kind of you're trying not to long because it's probably down here. Situation where the circuit is probably wet. When he's coming up to it's not really wet enough for you to can't bear anything. Now and from what I can see, we're not
stays green and they can set a grid for the race tomorrow. Again, remember, this feature race, which is on Sunday.
F2 ended up finishing the championship in 6th position. Drove for Victor Virtuosi Racing, the Maori Cordelis, his teammate for this year. He was second in the 2021 F3 championship for the Trident team. He and Dennis Hauger won the series. But right now, just tiptoeing his way around this 5.2 kilometre circuit here at Albert Park. Just trying to get take it nice and easy. That's the trouble zone. F3 and F2, and barely at 50% throttle through that section. This is what we're remarkable about. We saw it from the in-car coming down to here. This part of the course was very more obvious from the in-car shot, but certainly streams of water across the track, particularly down through here. All the other flag being shown on our screens for second too. Here's Jack.
So you heard man there. He said, it is so bad, asking the team. He's basically sending that message directly to race control. They listened with a red flag. So Jack will go around for one more lap, slowly, but red flag means that at the next opportunity to come into pit lane, all cars must return to pit lane. Jack saw that red flag, so he has to go around for one more lap on track. For those of you that, oh, there we go.
We've got a crash car out there somewhere.
So maybe race control didn't make the call. This is an aquaplane, no doubt.
It's through 9 and 10, so it's where Shane Van Gisbergen went off yesterday. It's a front wing-end plate we can see on the grass. So red flag has been displayed here. That's looking through turn 9 and 10.
That is 9 and 10. So it's happened on the it looks like on the approach to turn 9.
So this is from turn 9, looking through the sweep of the rear section, and it's a lose, middle of nowhere.
The 8 Behrman? Yeah, Behrman.
Who remember went off and bought the red flag out earlier today to end the second practice session earlier today.
Youngest driver in the fields. See what else has been going on. Just, yeah, this is what you can see, the 12.
Under Leclerc.
Yeah.
So he got away with it with a pirouette through the middle of turn 10. I wonder if race control would just allow the drivers to be able to get a feel for that with a view of maybe stopping the session anyway.
Jack Crawford, so his wing was jammed up under the car and has just come loose as he's gone down into turn 9. That's how that wing ended up down there. So right call is now made. Session
this car, I think that's arrived. In car 14, looking for that car shot, we're watching this there. Noticeably, I would say drier, but no, it is so with the upgrades that happened here to Albert Park, and then up to 2022, a lot of work's done in improving the drainage.
A couple of things I also, as we start to make our way around to really get some time lapse in, if you're out trackside and you're wondering which car is Jack doing, so I've seen a few people wanting to know. The blue car with pink on the side of it, number 14. If you're looking for that, there's two of them, they look the same. But the number 14, Jack doing, he's just making his way down to turn 13 now, the hairpin. He'll be the first of our runners to set a lap time. He slows down though, he's making a call. Great to see the crowd bring their hands together as he sets off on his first timed lap.
There's lots of white lines. Even though they've been painted over, they're still very slippery. The Stewart set sail to the joy of the Australian crowd that gather around the drive sheet earlier today. Takes us down to turn 3. Flash of blade
Yes, another Australian. Pushing on here, Jack doing.
half a second clear of the other cars have got to centre.
Doohan will set the most indicative time to here. Hadger and Vesky also going quickly. You can see those up on the big screens. Track TV.
Crowd cheers as Doohan comes back in the sight and around to complete the lap. For everybody else to do the chasing, it's going to be comes to complete the first lap. 46.3, and that's 6 tenths away. Sits at the top of 45.7. We start 52s and 50s. Everybody else set qualifying time to stay to
So Correa's being told to put on his rain lights. Red light in the back of the car, you'll see as they drive around. There's a Wasa. He was on pole. It's in third at the moment, chasing down the time of Martin. 7 minutes 20 remaining in this session.
Russell continuing on with the Dams team.
Last year we all thought Mercedes had the fastest looking car. It looked so different. And then came all the
Right now, it is Honda powered, but the big talk, of course, has been the partnership with Ford. We know that they've announced it and they've removed it.
Guess where we are tonight?
engine supply to teams up and down the grid. We know the pace they have.
Where Ferrari does well. Now that's not to say 100% it's going to be the case again this year that they're going to be the fastest car here, but he looked like he had a good feeling, didn't he? And also, you know, Carlos and Charles both seem to have a bit of a spring in their step when I spoke to them on the Melbourne wall.
Now, Rusty, different tyres this year. Well, we've got the cars out here. We're actually bringing a different compound. Last year, C2 being the hardest tyre available this weekend, C3 being the absolute middle of.
As a matter of public and driver safety, patrons are strictly prohibited from accessing the racetrack and associated restricted areas at any time. Patrons